The first case of cholera has been confirmed in the flood-ravaged northwest of Pakistan. The UN said one person had been infected with the deadly disease at Mingora in the Swat Valley. Another 36,000 are said to be suffering from symptoms of the illness. Aid agencies say they are still to reach 6 million of the estimated 40 million affected by the floods. This woman said her house was swept away and she had nothing to eat. "I have nothing and I am at God's mercy," she said. This man echoed a common complaint from the flood victims. "No one came to help us, not even from the government. We've no food and we're fed up." The government has been criticised for being too slow to respond to the disaster and is accused of relying on the military and NGOs to lead relief efforts. The UN has launched a €460 million appeal for funds, but says billions more will be needed. Its Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is set to arrive in Pakistan on Saturday night. Pakistan is holding somber Independence Day celebrations as the country's worst ever floods continue to plague the lives of millions. Prime Minister Yousaf Raja Gilani called off most of the festivities to show solidarity with the victims. Some events linked to the Muslim festival of Ramadan have also been cancelled. Gilani assured those who had been affected that the government would do its utmost to help them recover from the disaster. More floodwaters are set to hit southern Pakistan this weekend, which could scupper relief efforts. Some 1,600 people have died since monsoon rain struck the country over 2 weeks ago. American jets carrying the first shipments of €3.5 million in aid have arrived in wildfire-hit Russia. The planes touched down at a military base outside Moscow with equipment to help tackle the fires that have been raging for weeks. 54 people have been killed since the start of the crisis, amid a heat wave described as the worst in the country's history. According to the Russian Emergencies Ministry, some 480 fires are currently burning, covering an area of 56,000 hectares. A number are now dangerously close to a nuclear research center in Sarov, 500 kilometers east of Moscow, where several thousand firefighters have been deployed. Since the blazes broke out last month, at least 3,500 people have been evacuated from their homes.
Portugal is battling its own wildfires. They break out and move with such speed that many estimates of surface area affected appear in various media and from official sources and often conflict. According to Portugal's Interior Minister, 9 out of every 10 fires are arson. They are set intentionally. This map shows the areas on red alert, including national parks. Portugal measures about 600 kilometers from top to bottom and is only about 200 kilometers wide. More than 600 firefighters are on the job, drafted in from around the country. The justice authorities say 55 people were convicted of arson in 2009. The national police say 24 arrests have been made this year. An official European report said that in 2003 fires killed 21 people and that 425,000 hectares of Portugal went up in smoke.
French National Front leader Jean-Marie Le Pen has led a group of European far-right politicians in visiting a controversial World War II memorial in Tokyo. The Yasukuni Shrine honours the millions of Japanese who died in the conflict, including 14 convicted war criminals. What matters is our willingness to honour those who have died for their country, whether they are Japanese or soldiers from somewhere else in the world. We have the same respect for them. The group also included right-wingers from the UK, Austria, Hungary, Portugal, Italy and Belgium. They were in Tokyo for a conference organised by a Japanese ultranationalist group which discussed issues such as immigration and Islam. Veterans, politicians and relatives of the dead are set to visit the shrine on Sunday. although Prime Minister Naoto Kan has said he will stay away.
The return of an alleged Pink Panther member to Japan, Rifat Hadjametovic. It is part of a project among more than 180 countries to fight an international crime syndicate. The organization was nicknamed the Pink Panther Gang by British police, borrowing from a 1960s film caper. The real gang is suspected of orchestrating robberies around the world in the past 10 years, which netted more than 250 million euros in gems. The police in Tokyo believe the Montenegrin man they have in custody robbed a store in the Ginza district in 2007. The suspect was arrested in March 2009 in Cyprus and was sent to Spain in connection with other charges and held until the present extradition. Interpol says there may be up to 200 Pink Panther members, many of whom are Serbian former soldiers.
A Dutch-registered bus has crashed in northern France, killing one person and injuring 14 others. A 20-year-old French national died in the crash. The bus had been travelling from Brussels to Paris when it came off the motorway early on Saturday. Italian police have seized assets worth 800 million euros from a businessman with Mafia links. Police froze bank accounts and seized property belonging to Sicilian entrepreneur Michele Agliello, who was jailed in 2003 for corruption. Archaeologists in Turkey have uncovered an 800-year-old Christian church in the tourist resort of Antalya. The area was where the ancient city of Myra once stood. Experts are calling the discovery one of the most important finds in years. Vampire bats infected with rabies have attacked more than 500 indigenous people in Peru's Amazon, sparking an outbreak of the disease that has killed 4 people. Officials say medicines and vaccines are on the way. Rabies, a virus that causes acute inflammation of the brain, is usually spread to humans by dog bites. The flying mammals attacked villagers in the northeastern Uracusa region, where the Agua Hun tribe lives. Meanwhile, 3 people have died in the northwest of Peru after it was hit by an outbreak of bubonic and pneumonic plague. The area is infested with wild rodents, which could carry the disease and spread deadly bacteria, infecting water supplies.